Welcome to this video from Girlguiding Gloucestershire, one of a series of videos to help you navigate through the accounts pack from Girlguiding. In this video, I'm going to show you how to add income to the income page of the spreadsheet. This is the income page that's showing on the screen here, and you'll see at the top we've got some current balances. So as you add income and expenditure to your spreadsheet, this total will update, which is really handy. So at any given time, you can see how much money you've got in your unit, district, or division. These first lines here, these all relate to the events tabs at the bottom. So we're not actually going to add any detail into these grayed out lines at all. Before we can start adding any income though, we do need to just set up categories. So from here, you'll see you've got details 1, details 2, and so on, all the way along to details 15. And you need to decide what your categories are going to be. I would suggest that once you've chosen these, you stick with them from one year to the next. So typical income might be subs, might be trading income, e.g. uniform. You might have some badge income, and so on. The only one you can't change is the events tab. This one's preset because these are linked to those events pages at the bottom. So you can't change this header here, and you need to put any other events in this column as well. So once you've set up your headers and you start getting income coming in, you're going to put a line for every bit of income that comes in. And it's really important that we split this out into the individuals that are making those payments. So for example, on one evening at the beginning of term, you might have 10 brownies all paying you their subs. But it's important that we add that as 10 different lines here so we can record each individual child's income coming in. So we're going to start at line 20, and we're going to put the date that the money comes in. So we're going to meet on the 6th of January at the beginning of term. And Anna Banana brought me her subs. So you're going to put the date, and you're going to put the name of the person who's paying you. You've then got this details column. Now it's up to you what kind of information you want to put in here, what's going to be useful. And personally, I put, for example, spring term subs, summer term subs, and autumn term subs. So for this one, I'm going to put spring term subs. If it was other things like they were buying uniform, I might put what kind of uniform they bought in there, a gilet perhaps, or some trousers. You've then got a receipt reference column. So in here, I would put backs for bank transfer, I would put cash for cash payments coming in, and I would put check for check payments coming in. But again, it's up to you what kind of numbering system you want to use. So in this case, this one came in to the bank account direct. So I'm going to put backs in there. It's come into the bank direct. So then we have to decide which of these two columns here we're going to put it under. If they're paying you by check or by cash, then we're putting it in this first column. But in this case, it was the bank. So this is an online receipt. So I'm going to put it in this column here. And they paid me £35 for their subs. So that's the money coming into the bank. We've then got to break that down into our categories that we set up. So in this case, it was all subs. So I'm just going to put 35 under the subs header here. And that's it. That's as simple as that for that line. So we might then have another child on the same day bought us in something else. So let's have Doris Claiborne. Oh, that's better. Claiborne. She also bought me her spring subs, but this time she bought it in cash, and she also paid £10 for a piece of uniform. Okay, so in here I'm going to put my spring term subs and uniform. It came as cash, so I'm going to put cash into the column there. And because it was cash, the total is going into this check or cash column. So she bought me £45 altogether. However, this was partly subs and partly uniform. So in our column categories, we can split this out. So I can put 35 under subs, and I can put £10 under trading. So on the same day, somebody else did the same. They bought me, who should we have here? Let's have Gina. Okay. She bought me spring term subs, and I put that in. This time it was a check. Okay. It was a check for £45, and I know that 35 of that was subs. Now, what you can see on the right-hand side, all the way over here, is this figure keeps changing as I add the figures in. Now, if when I've finished entering my row, there's a figure in this column here, it actually means I've done something wrong. So I can look down this column. I can see at the top there, because that's the total, that there is an error somewhere. I can look down this column and see it's here, which means that the error is in this line somewhere. So I can go and check that out again and see that, oh, hang on a minute, she bought me £45, but I've only put 35 into the columns. So I've missed putting the £10 in for her uniform. So that means I can click in here, pop the £10 in, and now you can see that that figure's disappeared on the right-hand side there, and all is well. My sums add up. And if you've been paying attention as I was entering those figures, you will also see that these figures at the top here have also changed. So as I added the £35 into the online receipts, my bank balance went up. And as I added to the check and cash column, my cash figure came up. So just bear in mind that when you receive a check and you pop it into your accounts, it will be classed as cash, even though you're going to pay that into the bank eventually. But whilst you're checking that your cash balance is correct, you need to include any checks that you've still got in your hand at the time. And it's really good practice when you enter anything into this spreadsheet, whether it be income or expenditure, that at the end of that little update, that you just check that your cash balance in particular is correct. If you've got online banking, you can check your bank balance as well. Because if it's not correct, then you know that you've made a mistake in the very last bit that you've just done, rather than waiting until the end of the year and then having to check back through the entire account spreadsheet. So that's how we do our income on the income page.